How can you win the war for talent and attract the best and brightest people from all over the world by focusing on employee experience? Well, first of all, what is employee experience? I define it as changing the core workplace practices inside of your organization around your people by focusing on 3 environments. And these 3 environments are culture, technology, and physical space. Culture, technology, and physical space. So let's start off with physical space. Physical space is 30% of the overall employee experience, and this is exactly what it sounds like. It's the spaces in which employees work. It might be the art that hangs on the walls. It could be the food that you might serve. Anything that people can see or touch or taste or breathe in is a part of physical space. And one important criteria here is to make sure that the values of your organization are physically manifested in the spaces in which employees work. So for example, if your corporate values are things like trust, transparency, honesty, doing the right thing, do those values actually come to life in the spaces in which employees work? Now, some of you might be thinking, well, what if I have virtual employees or we're in a hybrid work environment? How does that really relate? Well, even in that kind of environment, you as an organization, as leaders, you can still provide guidance to your employees on how to make the most of the spaces that they are currently using. You can provide them with technology. You can offer them guidance and successful tips for how they can make the most of the spaces that they have. So physical space is one part of the employee experience equation, as I like to think of it, and it's 30%. The second piece we have is technology. Technology is the central nervous system for organizations. It's how stuff like this is made possible. Technology is what connects us. It's what allows us to communicate and collaborate at scale using a lot of these cool platforms. Now, the interesting thing that we need to remember about technology, especially as we use it inside of our companies, is are the tools that we're using consumer grade? Meaning, do the tools emulate something that we might use in our personal life? Are they just as easy to use? Are they just as beautiful and useful and familiar as the tools that we are using in our personal lives? I oftentimes joke that when you show up to work, it's as if you get teleported back to the 1980s, but when you go home, you're living in the year that we're currently in. And largely it's because of the tools and technologies that we're using. In our personal lives, we have these really great and amazing platforms, and then you show up to work and all of a sudden you're using this outdated stuff that really doesn't make sense. It's not familiar, it's hard to figure out. So are the tools that you're giving access to your employees consumer grade? Technology, again, 30% of the overall employee experience. And then we have corporate culture. Corporate culture is 40% of the overall employee experience. And unlike the other 2 environments, corporate culture is the stuff that you feel. Corporate culture is the stuff that you feel. And so one thing that I want to encourage you to think about here is what are the side effects of working for your company? So just like taking a prescription drug, you may experience some side effects, right? We've all seen those commercials on TV. Side effects include nausea, weight gain, skin discoloration, bleeding from the eyes. Well, nobody wants to take that kind of a prescription drug, yet so many people work for organizations that have the exact same side effect. So if you're not willing to take the drug, why work for that kind of an organization? But side effects of working for your company can also be good. A sense of growth and empowerment, purpose and meaning, collaboration, growth, all these wonderful things can also be side effects of your company. So when you think about corporate culture, that's the visual that I want you to have. If you were to swallow the corporate culture pill, what would the side effects of that pill be, both good and bad? And ask yourself, would you be willing to swallow that corporate culture pill? So these are the 3 aspects that shape all employee experiences for every employee at every organization around the world. We have culture, we have technology, and we have physical space. This is what makes up the employee experience equation. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about the Great Resignation, but I like to think of the Great Resignation as the great opportunity. And for me, employee experience is the future of work. The Great Resignation is the great opportunity. The question you need to ask yourself is, are you going to take advantage of that opportunity? Are you going to do something? Are you going to change the core workplace practices in your organization around your people? Don't let this opportunity pass you by, because as I've said several times, the Great Resignation is the great opportunity if you are willing to take advantage of it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and remember that you will be able to catch me live on the Workplace from Meta social channels. We're gonna be going live on December 1st, and I will be joined there by Abby Gathkalch. Hope to see you then.